Welcome back, everyone, to Ace Attorney. It's time to keep on investigating. I forgot what I had to do. Let me, let's see. I guess I go back to the main gate, perhaps? Yes? No? Maybe? Nick, look! That security lady is in the guard station stuffing her face with donuts! I guess all cops like their donuts. Yeah, and they're soft enough she doesn't need to chew them. Hey, you! Well, are you satisfied? Powers is guilty yet? Oh, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet? Urgh. She had to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Why didn't you tell us about the security photo, ma'am? Oh, that? I just thought it would be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself. These things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took that photo. It's my job to check photos every day, you see. This guard station is in a central position. No matter where you go here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer, he went to the studio just before 1. The murder happened right around 2:30, see? The only one I seen go through here between 1 and 2:30 was Powers himself. The security camera got a good look at him, too. If he's not the one that did it, I don't know who is. Maybe. It was you? Good one, Sonny. She thinks I was joking. Was the victim... what, babe?
Well, you're talking is way off from what I'm watching, so I probably wanted to hang up.
I mean, we can hang up if you want to just enjoy the stream. Okay. Love you. Bye. Okay. Hold up. There we go. Was the victim Mr. Hammer a popular actor? Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio. Was? Past tense? Oh, yes! He was great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He shone the brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate, it's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him? About the security camera. Oh yes, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through that gate, see? Then it snaps a photo. Apparently, it records the time when it takes a picture, too. But I don't bother myself with those details. I just view all the photos on the computer over in the security guard station. I check them every day before going home, I do. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Hey! No touching! Okay, sorry. An overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. The main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressing up against the gate. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. That's a tree. That's another tree. That's another tree. That's another tree. The security guard station. That security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk in there. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Let's go to the employee area. Dun dun! Nick! This is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hey, look! There's Power's dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around. Analysis. There's a sign by the dressing room door. Will Powers. Must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. That's the door. The door to the dressing room. It's not locked. Hey, Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir. What do you mean, find? You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear. We don't need a spear. And that's the murder weapon, for crying out loud. A can. The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak. T-bone steak. That would have hit the spot. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. What? Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh. So normal. I was expecting some cool theme snacks or something. Popcorn, at least. But wait, look! Samurai soda! Nick, try this! Ladies first. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted, so I can't see inside. I thought the trash can was something else. That must be the storage room. It's where they keep all the film equipment. Oh, Nick! You know a lot about the industry. What else would they keep in a film studio? Well, this is underwhelming. Oh, there's more. The metal grate on the drain here must have been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to pay at the gate. Excuse me. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest. Right! Huh? Hey, I'm not a kid! Sure thing, kiddo. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle. Probably neo-old Tokyo Castle. That's a bike. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point? It makes it a lot easier to go up hills. Don't people cycle to get exercise? The grate that used to cover the drain. It's a little bent. I don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back on. Is that all for this area here? Oh, to the dressing room. Dung dung. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping? Or at least, this is where he claims he was sleeping. No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they? Right. And there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth, for his sake. There's a vast array of cosmetics here. Oh! This is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie! Boogie Woogie? Nick, try this on! No. And how can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig? I, kinda like samurai movies. Kinda? They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I see my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. This must be Power's bag. Hey, don't open that. Look! An employee card key. That must be Power's. It says Studio 1. Let's take it, Nick. Borrow it. You mean borrow. We're just borrowing. You know, this isn't illegal, taking stuff. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give those to the employees. Some tea and cookies. Nick, I'm hungry. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweets. Abby, it's you. And I hear thunder outside. How many stomachs does this girl have? If the stream stops because of like a power surge or something, don't be surprised, okay? Actually, there we go. Just unplugged my laptop so it doesn't, I don't know, power surge. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. Sorry, my mouth is dry. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window much. I guess it is kind of dusty outside. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes. It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes. I'd say you were already wearing one myself. Or I'd say you were already wearing one yourself. Did I miss anything? I wonder what else is inside Power. Stop that! My partner, the thief in training. Maybe I use that card on something. Hey, there's a camera here.
That's a security camera. Takes photos of people going to the studio. All you have to do is look at the data and you can see who went there.
There's a plate number on the camera. ST1307. That must be the camera ID number. I'm a little bushed. Maybe I'll take a short rest.
Hey, good idea, pal.
Detective, aren't you on the case?
Well, yeah, but... Hey, us detectives get tired of standing around too, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, what's down the path to the left? Looks like a tree fell over in front of the... Looks like a tree fell over the path.
Oh, yeah. That way's kind of dangerous. You should stay out, pal. There's nothing down there, anyway. That's where Studio 2 used to be, they tell me. They don't use it now, though.
Studio mascot. I guess it's a monkey of some kind. That doesn't look nothing like a monkey. But what kind of monkey has a nose like that? Yeah, buffering on your end. I'm sorry, babe. He's in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to 2. What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted.
Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday. The head broke off. It took the tree down with it, too.
I see. I don't know if you meant to send that comment 3 times, babe. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. Beep! It opened. All right, we're in! He's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. All right, Studio 1. October 16th, Studio 1. Dung dung. Oh. Okay, babe. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real. Well, the evil Magistrate did die here. Oh, okay, babe. And the Steel Samurai killed him. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. The outline where Jack Hammer's body lay with tape. His body was concealed inside the evil Magistrate costume. Good lord. Will this severe thunderstorm warning ever end? Anyway. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny. I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few bloodstains. I guess the costume must have absorbed some of it. Hey, look! That's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of those. Hey, Nick, take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone! A real live megaphone! Ready, Nick? Action! This girl is more trouble than I thought. What's this? That's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. Yes, that's what they call those. They're just reflectors. The assistant holds it during filming. Huh. What? Where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment? Well, lighting is fine, but I'd want to be the director. Or maybe the Steel Samurai. I think she's being serious. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on your narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Wow, okay. Right, sorry. This girl is out there. No. Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought.
Hey, you! No touching that!
Oh, it's a girl. Ah, sorry. My partner's kind of, you know. You know? No, I don't know. Who are you? Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. She's probably gonna be, she's probably the partner for the whole game, babe. Cause she shows up in Dual Destinies. So she's probably a major character. Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP, I get it. I don't envy you guys one bit. But do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry. Leave it to us.
Mind if we ask you a few questions?
Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yes. I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see. Only one assistant? Yes, well, the studios isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Powers... Oh. The employee area, That's where Power's dressing room is, right? Yes, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private. It's his private. What kind of girl do you think I am? Well, what kind? No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Power's alibi. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Sorry, I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Aha! That's what I'm talking about! A clue! A lead! Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed? Yes, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed them? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I don't have any better information than that. No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. So you sensed that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio? Yes, I think. I think it doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. Nick, what about that security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. Well, then let's go talk to crew. Let's go talk to the announcer from Team Fortress 2, why don't we?
Studio gate.
Is this bitch again? Hold on. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What? I saw that suspicious look on your face. I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day. What? Are you absolutely sure you were watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Eek! Like, you better tell me quick, you spiky-haired cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh? We were just talking to the assistant in Studio 1. She's not even a full-time employee. All you youngins are like that nowadays. Tomorrow saying this and the other thing when you were speaking your elders back when he was crying shit, and then you today just... She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can do without her looking over our shoulders. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. She looked like a snake, because she is a snake. Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Try it. Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work these things, Nick? Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see, first I need the date of the murder. Looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. 1 p.m. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of the security camera. I believe it was this. There! Entered. Hey! It printed out the data for the day! Let's see what we got. Huh? How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. Huh? October 15th, 2 p.m. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day. Nope, that's the only one in the computer. Hey, Nick! Can't we use this photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right. We'll put her in her place. Hey, that's what I said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick! You're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady. It's that security lady. There's no doubt about it. Saving content. Okay. Save your progress? Yes. Alright, baby. It's trial time. Dung dung. Oh, Lord. I need to go get more water.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please.
The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact.
I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court?
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that worked at the studios was here at 1 p.m. that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. Here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. Victim, Jack Hammer. The defendant, Will Powers. And a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, Rehearsal was canceled. Looks like Richter Belmont. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again?
Should I listen to that whole thing again? Probably not, but... Skip. I think I can probably remember that.
So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Yeah, it's Richter. It literally looks like Richter Belmont.
Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is,
What did the security lady at the guard station see?
understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please! Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Just call me Grandma. It's practically even Oldbag. How? Still how the other children believe it, but there was a boy and the captain, he called me an old bag while I just cried. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yesy, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you?
You know your stuff, dearie. Edgeworth's getting hit on, yes, by a grandma. But yes. ...
You may begin your testimony.
She sure is one of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through here since morning. Well, I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers! That man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. Time to press on. So up until that time, anyone who wanted to go into the studio could go into the studio? Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You'd need an employee card key to get in. Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since morning. A run-through? They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon, and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why our poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there after noon? Well, I had some errands to run that morning. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper! I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He had already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
I was at the main gate from then until 5.
So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just that after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch donuts and eat...
Watch donuts.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper whapper. Snipper whapper? Old Windbag's losing it, Nick.
Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right?
How did you know that?
Oh, ho, ho. I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Poor Detective Gumshoe, getting ratted out by a security guard.
Interesting to me, because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. 2 p.m., you're sure? Sure as spit.
Well, who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your scurvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers! That man right there! And he was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said! Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance.
Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him.
Alright, let's save and then present the photo. I'm about to end this lady's whole career. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, this is the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that! I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling her Old Bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Huh, nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me, this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Hold on.
Let's hear about your proof, then.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Ooh, that shook the apartment. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet. What have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. The up and up. Youth today, always wanting to each other, pointing fingers and that. It's enough to make it want to cry.
Mr. Wright, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning, during the action scene, who was present at the run-through? Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old the evil Magistrate. And me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just observing. What about the assistant? Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such. So she didn't see the run-through then. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers strained his ankle. I helped to make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony.
It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear.
Samurai spear?
The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly strained? Not so bad he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay.
I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this Steel Samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though.
Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else who was not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer.
We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. They had, I would have seen them.
So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Ah, shit. Here we go again. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? How do you know that? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. Old windbags sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy. Edgy boy? Gugh. Old windbag sure has balls, or... yeah. I got you. I'm at a bit of a loss, babe. What do you think? Oh, damn it. I'm at a bit of a loss here. That would be nice, babe. Thank you. Let me take a look at the evidence. Time of death. What to do, what to do. Here, let me look too, because I am confused. I'm so confused. Look at the photo again, it says number 2. Yes, I see it says number 2. Against statement 2, 3, or 4. Okay. Ah, here we go. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, number 2 means someone else must have been there before. Yes, that's true. When it passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo 1 if it really was the only photo?
Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes. That's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Old Bag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai?
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please.
This bitch. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera, on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldback, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. Another job? That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see.
This bitch sketchy. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Come to think of it, couldn't she think of that a little earlier? Classic old windbag move, Maya.
Might be a useful tactic to remember for use in my future career as a windbag.
Let's find out more about this erased photo. Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Well, wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in?
I locked the main gate so no one could get in.
Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and... They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So on the photo that you erased...
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on your way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect.
Yeah, they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
Oh, good lord. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. In your dressing room, you didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was in the steel samurai costume in that security photo? How should I know? The steel samurai costume was in the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it. Really? What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are you gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take so long to shoot us down that we get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. Let's, save. Shut up. I want to say it's the assistant lady. Or it's the security guard. I just know it. It's the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The steel samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper?
Order! Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, there's no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby! That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection of some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
Well, what? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Let's save first and then we'll press further. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions of that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased!
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Oh, or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
I have no proof.
But proof?
Indeed. Then let's see that...
Oh, you have proof.
You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder?
I do. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Mr. Windy. What was her name?
Something Oldbag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Well, wait a second! I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk?
Well, testify.
Oh, God, this bitch.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
But Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder.
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? Should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through on their action scene without a director? Of course!
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Oh, the path where the monkey's head was fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but...
Continue. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Let's keep going. So they were actually in the studio?
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
I'll kill this woman, I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one.
But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Them? Who were those people? Oh, duh. I just did a whole turnaround because I'm stupid. Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings and the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, babe, do you think I should keep going or should I stop? Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really? It's nothing.
Right. We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and this producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it is in that in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right! We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. I think this is a good place to stop. For now, at least. I might continue tomorrow, but we'll see. Yeah, it's midnight and you got class at 8 in the morning. So, I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I'll probably finish tomorrow. Episode 3, at least. If you're watching this in the future, if you want, go ahead and subscribe. Maybe leave a like. Hit that bell notification to know when I play. And, yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all later.